Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sankhaya. So, hello to all of you across the world, and welcome to my page. Welcome to Venerable Chidao's page. First of all, this talk is for people who want to engage into counseling sessions, and I have some administrative announcements I like to make before going in there. This video is used to send to people who are going to contact me, is contacting me, and going to contact me post June 18th and beyond. Today's policy will affect any and all humans that would like to engage into my program thereafter. But first, I wanted to bring to awareness into my recent birthday, and wanted to thank all of you around the world who made donations. The donations added up to about $460, I'm guessing, but no more than $500, less than $500. This announcement comes as my transparent, uniform monastic financial disclosure. As with any donations that is being made, it is my policy. It is a policy that targets anti-corruption within this religious order. So I like most of the programs that I come up with. It just ensures integrity and purity of the Dhamma. Okay, so over the past 2 weeks, a lot of things have transpired. You all know that I went to Arizona and did some social advocacy work against the House bill within the Protect the Border bill. Met a student there, walked into the student's life, was going to ordain the first woman under this school of Jidao. However, that was very sporadic. It was considered an emergency ordination, and that did not come to fruition because due to lack of funding and other causes and conditions, and it did not come to fruition. Then I came back, and then my birthday happened. And after my birthday, I worked a domestic violence special victims case here in St. Pete in conjunction with the clinic here and St. Pete Clinic, and there was another agency, Pinellas Park Health Department agency. And right now I'm still working those cases. However, a lot of results have come in regards to my program, and over the previous years of counseling have led up to this policy that we're going to discuss today. I just want to make sure that I do this video justice in regards to thanking our donors. By the way, the amount of donors who acted instantaneously this year, in my 9.5 years as a monk, it has never been a year where people donate that quick within a short amount of time. And this year alone, I believe there was about $2,000, and I'm just guessing off of my head, and no more than $3,000 within the entire year since 2024. And that has been any donations thus far. Now, why are these announcements important? Because it's going to affect the new policy that's going to take place. And I really appreciate, especially given the economic climate right now, that some of you were willing to give as such, and that it prolongs the novice program. And right now I have a student that is awaiting ordination, student Davan. He is a 16 going to be 17-year-old Cambodian student here locally that was previously ordained at another monastery. And I've never seen a student of modern day Gen Alpha, I yeah, Gen Alpha, Gen Zoomers, Gen Alpha, that has such a deep faith and conviction in the teachings of the Buddha and studying Pali and often. However, the student is stuck between getting ordained or getting a summer job. And my heart melt when I hear that, because everyone knows that over the past couple of years, I give jobs to students, paid positions. Um, Everyone know that I was a previous CEO before becoming a monk, and that about, I would say, 30 people worked for me here in Pinellas County and was loved by all. One of the good thing is that when you go online and you teach online as such, and you make a claim, it better be true and correct, because people who've worked for me is still running around and still alive. So had I not been a good CEO, that come back quite quickly. Loved where you are and missed when you're gone. So every year I have assistants to the Venerable program, where of which students, particularly high school students, assist me in my public talks, public invitations, and they would take pictures. They would help out with the media and just using all of their wisdom and wits in technology and help me out. And most of them were paid $15 an hour. Everybody know over the past 5 years, 5 recent years, is that there were about anywhere from 5 to 8 assistant within those time frames rotating. Okay. However, this over the past 2 years, ever since I suspended programs, we have been struggling to have assistant. So I'm stuck doing things on my own. Okay, that's okay. Here we are. We're still going strong. But all of my results that I have been seeking, my hypothesis and results of those hypotheses have come in. Everyone knows that I conduct research, social research, and I conduct research within the counseling program so that I can understand the human better. Each human come with a very unique story to their life, and my job is to meet them where they're at, select proper recommendation and advice within the 84,000 teachings, in conjunction with cognitive behavioral therapy and other Western psychological modalities to incorporate that, so that the individual can make sense of where they're at. Uh, so it's not new. Probably new to people who are receiving this video soon, that I conduct research. It is very integrative, engaged Buddhism, one of a kind. All of my programs are one of a kind, and very uniform, very transparent, very visible to the general public, so that they understand what is happening and why it is happening and why it is so valuable within this context and so on. Okay, this computer's got issues. Can y'all give me 1 second real quick? The plug, there's something going on with the plug. Okay. All right. I'm back. I have a heavy heart announcing this new policy. And you all hold your questions real quick. We're live on across all social media. Just hold it for a second so I don't lose my train of thought. I'm not getting younger. Before we go into that, my dad is going to turn 75, I believe, next month, July. And ever since I came back from my trips, we've had a family discussion that he wants me to finish the university endeavor. Everybody knew before I became a monk, I wanted to be a psychologist. And my pursuit was in the pursuit of the PhD doctorate. However, on my senior year was when everything fell apart at Eckerd College. And so, I'm just like floating right now as an interpreter and social worker, and just kind of just floating, just hanging out, right? As a monk, serving all of you, listening to your stories, conducting counseling, being invited here and there to teach. And it's awesome being a monk. No complaints. However, I do have a cultural responsibility to respond to parents' wishes and to prepare how to take care of them as they're growing older, weaker, frail, the whole retirement thing. Anyone who has parents, anyone who is a millennial understands that we're now treading that line of taking care of our parents, our responsibility in the midst of our job. Now, thank God, thank the Lord that I am not married and do not have biological kids. So therefore, that's one burden off my shoulders, because maybe not having a partner could also pose a problem because, and then I'm alone, and I'm also the assistant director at my dad's office, the professional social service office. So that's a lot, and this is why I announced earlier that I'm right now actively working that special victims case, domestic violence, and so well, I'm holding a lot of capacity, scope, and practice, wearing a lot of hats, in the midst of trying to serve the people under the capacity as a venerable monk. And I have taken that conversation quite seriously, and now scrambling to look for my transcripts and applying to universities to finish, and trying to, save as much time as possible. I'd like to finish within the next 2 to 3 years. I hope to get my doctorate within 3 years. It's scary because, I'm not getting any younger. Uh, and it becomes harder for memory and retention of information as we get older. The problem is we think we have time when we in fact don't, said the Buddha. Um, so proceeding on forward, I want to tell you all that over the past 9.5 years of counseling people, these are the things that I have discovered commonly is that, and now we have this new trend of people shopping for spiritual teachers. Here's the problem. Problem is, however, people have played a little too long, a little too hard in their life. I get it. I understand. Because I was once you all. I once played hard and played a little too long, and then life hit me quite hard. And when I decided to change at age 22, by and through my relationships, I realized that I'm really sick. I'm really tired. I'm exhausted. And I said that my midlife crisis happened at 22 years old and need not to wait until, 50, like we have heard on the news and so on, right? In all of the movies and all of our friends and family that we know. um, and at age 22, I was very serious about my spirituality and about knowing myself and bringing it to a stop. And stop. I don't know how to love. I admit to that. I had anger problem. I was controlling all these things that entails in a relationship. I said, that's it. Three people that don't know who they are telling me the same thing, live in different locations. Okay. All right. I'm going to change. Period. End of story. I picked up cognitive behavioral therapy, finished it within like 2 weeks. I'd achieved full academic enlightenment. Okay. I cannot say that I'm enlightened like the Buddhist terminology and definition. One who claims that he is a Buddha or is fully enlightened arahant is not an arahant. However, I was very academically enlightened because I'm like, wow, I cannot believe. Why don't they teach us this to us in school? So and my life changed after 2 weeks. So I don't understand why some of these people cannot finish the same book that I read in modern days, and it takes months on end for people. So people are not taking the spiritual journey seriously, right? And moving on, and then if we, so I identify the individual if they have existence of depression or anxiety, any mental illness, existence of mental illness, treading elements of mental illness diagnosis, then we got to introduce CBT to them. And thus I did. And thus I will. They got to pass that test before they move on and go into Buddhism, studying the Four Noble Truths, the Noble Eightfold Path, samatha meditation and vipassana meditation. So I'm also observing and watching and see how students adjust to their life in the midst of work home school balance, sleep, eating disorders, this across the whole spectrum. Literally each student is a clinical case. Each student is a case to me. I typically keep process notes and clinical notes for my own research so that I can follow them. Now, the success rates or the graduation rates very low, and I understand why. And so it what happens is it takes up a lot of time and resources. Very exhausting because now I am the only person doing this. Previously, my students used to sit with me and take the notes for me so that I can focus and do other things, multitasking. But now I am by myself. Mind you all, 98% of people who reach out for counseling, which is in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, okay? More than 400, 500, will have lost count, do not donate, okay? Then from time to time, and it took me a long time to start asking for donations, of which is not what you think it is. I cannot ask for donations, okay? So I can only make a compelling case. And people have to feel moved by that such compelling case and then voluntarily, willfully, knowingly, and intentionally make donations so that we can keep programs going. That did not happen within the what I thought it was going to be. So then I had to return back to work. um, so it's like I think it's my karma. At any given point in time in my life, I'm always holding three jobs. Like now I'm an interpreter, social worker, and a monk. And in my other previous jobs, same way. It has never changed. So I credit that to the workings of karma, cause and effect. What I had thought was people understood that they're reaching out free service. They're talking to a world-class monk who is delivering world-class care. And if you've reached me on the phone, that means other options have typically failed. And that it did. Because I will always ask, have you reached out to a therapist? Are you under the care of a therapist? And usually they're like, yeah, I don't work. I couldn't tell you how many times they've said their therapist sucked. Which I get, I understand. I was on the other side of the chair as a patient for 6 years in psychotherapy before I took on this role as a Buddhist psychotherapist. Okay. And so now the Buddha taught me, and so is our rules, 227 rules, said that a gift is a gift that you give without expecting anything in return. And I don't. I don't expect anything in return. Some of these sessions were recorded live so that you all can see how I do my job. How awesome I do my job, actually. And if you missed it, you can go back to my YouTube and study it. I know that it's going to be used for classes across the world in clinical classrooms. The only thing I asked of students is, in honor of a living teacher, which I've said so many times, do the work. Respect, do the work. That's the best way to honor. If you have nothing to give, use your time, study what needs to be studied, practice what needs to be practiced, and do what needs to be done. All right. Yeah, that rarely happens. Keyword rarely. So moving on forward. Oh, and mind you, in the midst of people that is engaged into Buddhist counseling with me, in the midst of it, they're not keeping the precepts. They're out, drinking. They're out socializing. They're out wasting a lot of time. And still remain subscriptions on Netflix and Amazon Prime and Zulu and Hulu and God Lord knows Disney channels and stuff like that. So everyone, first and foremost, talk about the financial aspect. Everyone's making money out there. Everyone except the school of Qidao. Everyone's making money out there. Everyone gets the benefit of the subscriber, which is, whatever's going on out there, right? Except Buddhism. Everyone knows that when I have excess amount of money left over, I donate them to monasteries. And previously and most recently, I donated to Wat Don Du in Laos, in the capital of Laos. Ajahn Saidon Kamameon. That's his last name. Okay. So it's tough being in this position because they're looking up to me as this young Vietnamese American Buddhist monk who reside in America, in Florida, to help them out when they're in most need. Laos is a third world country, dirt poor. I was there. I was there for 2.5 weeks. When I mean dirt poor, it means that I had to take my robes and cover my whole entire body, so that I wouldn't breathe in dirt as we were driving on the road. Okay, from north to south of Laos. We went half the country. Amazing. And I had to turn down a lot of requests because I could not help them. I couldn't even keep my own programs afloat. Moving forward, anyone that reaches out this point forward need to be able to demonstrate that they have given more and taken less on their side, on their end of the table, on their end of the screen. What does this mean? Well, if we look at the three poison, greed, anger, and ignorance, okay, everyone is subject to that. And they're greedy and they're angry because they're ignorant of the Four Noble Truth. Okay, so let's look at the greed part. If a person is greedy, because not only they don't know about the Four Noble Truth, they're greedy because they don't give more and take less. They do the total opposite. They take more and give less. So the new policy implies that a student must demonstrate that they are giving more in the present moment, giving more and taking less. So what does that mean? Okay, I don't want money. It means that they have to volunteer out in society. Okay, they have to engage in volunteer work, either clinic, hospital, homeless shelter, somewhere. Okay, or they are donating to the program, this school, particularly this school, Jidao, because it is a way of measurement for me to know that they're investing in their education. Now, what do Theravadan Buddhist monks teach? We teach you all, we are the most comprehensive and effective educational system the world has ever seen, period. Okay, Buddhism is that. Theravadan Buddhism is that most effective and comprehensive educational system the world has ever seen. So when people, humans, come to us, come to me, okay, I don't want to make it sound like it's me, in my program. Okay, notice the practice of the non-self, me, mine, I. Okay, but I'm trying to paint this picture for all of you to understand comprehensively where my heart lies. Is that when they come to me, assuming that all other options have been exhausted and things have to change. If you have, especially, you are investing into your education right now. You are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of yourself. You're coming to me and I'm going to help you through this. I am determined. The burden now is not on me anymore. 9.5 years. And 9.5 years as a monk. And before a monk, I've been doing this for now 19 years in social work, clinical social work for 19 years as, 37-year-old monk, 37-year in the US, 38 in Vietnam. Okay. But a human have to demonstrate that you're investing into yourself, right? And if you donate money, which is the hardest thing ever to do, you're donating towards yourself, because I have to suspend everything else and prioritize what's happening at hand. If you do not have money to donate, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Remember, this tradition can only ask you for a cup of water, not money. We will never ask you for money. I will never ask you for money. Never have, never will. You need to demonstrate that you are volunteering right now in society. You must give back. This comes from my legal experience in the courtroom, where of which that's what judges do. If you violate something, traffic violation, you don't have money to pay for your traffic ticket. You have the ability to ask for community service. The judge will credit $12 to $15 an hour towards community service because you're giving back. You need to be able to demonstrate that you are volunteering in the midst of this spirituality. I don't just trust you, I will verify. Okay? I will verify. Anyone who has been following for a long time knows that. I don't just trust, I verify. That is the model from the American Fellow College of Surgeons, FACS. That's their motto. Don't trust, verify. All right. So again, I follow the same models as our legal and medical systems, given my 19 years in the same systems. And so I will need to call. And if I request you for a letter, I expect that you go out there and get a letter from your manager or whoever, the hospital administrator, or whoever is helping you through that process, your superior, subordinates, whatever, you understand. And that shows me that you are now worth my time, that you are a worthy student, duly deserving of me putting everything away and prioritizing this right now. Okay. If I don't have this policy, it means that we're just going in circle year after year, year after year. Now, I have profiled a lot of senior teachers who, well, unfortunately have passed away. But some of them, like Vimala Ramsey, you can tell that he's been a monk for so long, and some of these other senior teachers have been for so long. And, maybe they haven't thought of it like this, like I have. What I'm doing, probably perhaps the first in the world. It has to be done. It has to be done so that it ensures the survival of the Theravadan order and the survival and longevity of my school and program that caters to teen suicide. And even more than that, School of Jidao caters to teen suicide as a priority. Also caters to social work, social application, equality, justice, environmental protection. I am all of that. I do all of that. All of my teachings, let's go back to it. Now there's thousands circulating around the world, like 300 million people perhaps have heard my voice. So therefore, I hope you all understand and have compassion for me. Because I can't think, I have thought about this for years and could not act on it until the time is right. Because I'm like, what if? Okay. All the what ifs. All right. It's a very tough and hard decision, but it draws the line and boundary. And it sets the tone. I am so exhausted in repeating myself, one human after another of the same standard. And they don't want to know. They don't know. They don't want to know. They don't want to know how. Okay. When it comes to donating, I have said this before. They don't donate. They don't know how to donate. They don't want to know how to donate. Okay. We have, people are very selective in their hearing. They hear what they want to hear, and whatever benefits them, great. Whatever they can take, great. Then the rest, they just, oh, thanks. No, that's wrong. It's not right. It's not showing gratitude. It is not showing gratefulness. And it is no wonder under my sainthood program that I canonize people being saint because they give more and take less. Everyone knows that anyone who donates, even $1, is canonized as a saint by virtue of generosity. Because all of my statistics are in my head. All these things that I've done over the past 9.5 years as a monk is all in my head. I know these things. At the current time, there are a handful, see my fingers holding up? Handful of people who donate. Darren is one of them. And most noticeably, Bree. Every single week, Bree sends money. How much? $25. She's the only one who we could consider as a subscriber, right? She invests in her own education. Every week we're talking about what's happening, and you all got to hear this. You all know when Bree start asking good questions, I go live, and I'm like, Bree, hold on, repeat your question, and I go live. So BRI, right? Go to my YouTube, put BRI under search, and you're gonna see me and Bree have at it. It's even safe to say I would even die for Bree because of such a beautiful woman she is. Young woman, like I don't know, maybe 25, 26 years old, where she invests into her spirituality. Okay, gives more, take less, expect nothing in return. And she texts me, and we're communicating often. Something I don't see people. So I know they're back reverting to their old ways in their old days. They're not prioritizing their spiritual path. Somewhere down the line, I don't know. Maybe people don't take this very seriously. I take it very serious. I take it dead seriously. Dead seriously. The way how I live my life as a monk, now I'm able to challenge any other monk in the world or anybody else to do what I can do. You all know that how serious I take my job as a monk. I think of every human, every second of the day. Why do you think there's so many, the algorithm of teachings are so rapid and prevalent and just a lot and big? Because everywhere I go, including Universal City Walk recently, I'm connecting objects and signs and symbols with teachings, and then I just publish. Thank God. TikTok recently sent me $336.97 for last month. And I don't keep track of these things. That's TikTok's job. They do whatever they do. And I just do my thing. People ask me, do you make money off this? And I'm like, they send me like $100 once in a while. I don't do it for the money. So I just don't know. So the question opens up so many doors. I'm like, I don't know what you're trying to look for. Well, just know that I don't do this for money. Can you imagine if I put robes on and then just make a bunch of videos and then to make money? Well, 9.5 years is quite a long time. 9.5 years is quite a long time to fake it till you make it type deal. And I must have no life to do. Okay. So, anyways, but thank goodness for the incentive program on TikTok, which helps out with so many things. Proceeding on forward, people must know we monks also need health insurance. We monks also need teeth cleaning. What do you call that? Hygiene, right? Dental hygiene, healthcare, Florida Blue, and better, sunshine, right? People don't think about this. It's like what troubles me is a life of all giving. And now I am speaking for priests, monks, rabbis, and everyone in the monastic order, everyone within the consecrated life who have these expenditures. And not to mention their own retirement, which they will never get and never see. We'll get to that. And people don't ever think about this. Last Christmas, Jachin, Father Chin, Chinh, and I'm so happy to see him because he was our father at the Catholic Church, one of the most long lasting priests, and he's just so adorable. He is so adorable who he is because of where he came from in Vietnam. His operating system and treating people. He's just adorable. And so many Vietnamese people came up to him and they're like, Father, this is a gift for you. And they just wanted him to take the gift, take it, and put it in your savings for Christ's sake, your retirement, please. And I was just so moved to witness that they're coming in and begging him to take the darn envelope. And he's just the way how he responds, it just melts my heart into like pieces. It's sad that 9.5 years later, I watched a lot of monk disrobe, cannot survive because they have to take care of their family. They have other worldly responsibility. social and cultural responsibility. And one of my regret, as I write in my journal, and now a letter to all of you, is I wish that I had extra money to send to, for example, the life of the late Venerable Johnny Suksamai, who he was such a hero to me. He died of COVID. I never got to send him a dime. Then recently we lost a Laos monk, Venerable Lucky. Um, you know, 9.5 years is painful to watch good, qualifying, authentic, and experienced monks that I wanted to sponsor to come and help me and to sit here to my right and to sit here to my left to help all of us. I couldn't do that. And once their mind is made up, it's very hard to change their mind because their life will move on, and then they get married, and then they have whatever. I'm not getting married. I really don't. I don't want to, never want to have kids because I want to adopt them, all of them around the world. So therefore, this policy is that you all need to understand comprehensively and not take pieces out of this talk and to say, oh, Ajahn doesn't love anymore. Oh, Ajahn Jidao. No, I've tried it. You've tried it. I've tried it. We all have tried the systems, innovative system, over and over again, and there's not the desired results that I'm looking for, and it wastes a lot of time, energy. And now with the existence of robocalls and spam calls, I can't believe, you all know I have 4 phones at any point in given time. Imagine your phone going off, right? Everyone knows this across the US. Your phone going off the way that it does, the frequency that it does. Now imagine all 4 of my phones driving me crazy. And I'm losing sleep. I can't reach emergency counseling because I have to call back some of these robocalls got real numbers. And I'm thinking someone's going to jump off a bridge. Do you know I am the only monk that caters to teen suicide in the United States? You all know that, right? I hope you do. Now you do. And perhaps the only monk in the entire world that has some of these programs that is happening now. Okay. And I've waited, y'all. I've waited for CEOs to call me. I've waited for nonprofits to call me. I've waited for all of these people to call me and be like, hey, we really want to help out. We're here to lend a helping hand. No, that did not happen. You all should also know that I have turned down so many business offers. So as a celebrity Buddhist monk, you know that people send emails and like, would you mind promoting our products and get 10%, 20%? You have no idea the word integrity that I have to uphold as a monk. You all know the term Ajahn, right? The new title now, that is what you all see. Ajahn. Ajahn means someone who has kept perfect precept over the past 10 consecutive concurring years, right? And that I have done. Well, am I going to sit here and tell you all I'm perfect? Absolutely not. Have I tread minor violations in the precepts? Yes, I have. What is one of them? Having more than 3 robes. Why? Because I'm traveling. And everyone knows that whole spiel with other monks. Whatever. These are little minor things. But in regards to the integrity and fidelity and courage and bravery, I had to stand strong and tall when it comes to these temptations that's coming in my email. Mind you all, I'm the only Buddhist monk in the entire world that have given a warrantless search to my phone. If you are a federal agent, you can go through my phone anytime, any day of the week. Okay? You can search whatever you want. Bank accounts, emails, whatever it is that you think is happening, behind closed doors, hidden agendas, political agendas. I ain't got no agendas. My agenda, serve the people. So I just wanted to re-emphasize this for those who are new. Every 2 weeks, there's additional, every week or something like that. Every 2 weeks, there's additional 100 people subscribing to YouTube. And they should just know, everyone should just know from time to time, this is my policy, period. A man who lives by his policy has policy, is a man of principle. He lives by his principles. So therefore, in totality of this talk, Um, you know, I've waited too long. I've been doing this too long. At times, I sound a little grumpy. What do you expect? You know, as I get older, yeah, you got to get a little grumpy. But I still remain compassionate and understanding and loving for all. Notice the recent application on LGBTQIA plus immigrants, Hispanics, or immigrants or migrants, and there's so much more work to be done. I hope that the workings of karma, the workings of cause and effect, and with the help of all of you, able to help and assist me in this way. It seems like the private sector, which is all of you who are listening, the private sector, because I wish that back in the day that someone helped me with grant writing. Okay. I need a lot of volunteers. Those who would like to volunteer, please volunteer. Please reach out. The number one Vietnamese interpreter at Gmail. My email is the number one Vietnamese interpreter at gmail.com. Okay. I need people to help spread the Dhamma. I need people to share the videos. I need people to look for funding. I need people to help me establish nonprofit 501c3. Not easy with 501c3 in regards to trust. And this is a self correcting institution. And right now, I'm also on the disciplinary board, and we are investigating someone within our circle who is not living a righteous life. And so the word trust comes from the word trust is very important to me. It takes a long time to trust people and put those 5 people in the 501c3 as members, board members, to serve the people. They have to serve the people. The people always come first, above all. They have to demonstrate that to me in order for them to sit on my nonprofit. That's why it takes for so long. But we're ruling it out. We're going to rule out who is real and who is not real. We're going to rule out who is dedicated student and who is not. You got to start off with a student before you can become any other else. Okay. If I'm the teacher that you choose, this is how it's going to work from now on. Right. And it will be subject to change as we go along. And I'm going to have to sit there and write all this out into a policy and manual. That's why they have policies and manual. I just so happen to just want to ignore that rigidity of that because I'm chill. I go with the flow, but you know what? It just doesn't work with some of these people who I thought that you're coming to me because you're hitting rock bottom, is about to hit rock bottom, going to hit rock bottom. I'm telling you what you need to do. Just do it. On the subject of the ego and proceeding on forward, please give up. Give up your ego. Let it go. I am able to fix so many had they just given up and not side with the lawyer in their head. So again, be cognizant, aware of the lawyer in one's head, because the lawyer in your head just says, no, meditation doesn't work. No, science is not real. It's just all of these excuses, nonstop excuses. Okay. So we're going to work through it. Again, anyone who reaches out for counseling, proceeding on forward, need to demonstrate giving more and taking less in society, buy-in through volunteering. Okay. The verification of volunteering at church, nonprofits, homeless shelters, whatever. You need to be able to demonstrate that you are active out there doing that, or you are donating to the program so that we can ensure our survival and the survival of other Theravadan Buddhist orders. Okay. It's the only way I'm going to make Buddhism grow. It's the only way I'm going to make this program grow so that it circles back around in our society, our community, so that all of us benefit from the teachings of the Buddha. Okay, so as soon as I am enrolled at a university, I will let you all know. The clock's dinging because every hour it dings, so it tells me that I'm using my hour wisely. So it's gonna sing for a second. I will let you all know. Just know that I'm trying to fit people into my counseling sessions in the midst of now trying to grab my transcripts and pursue subsequently the doctorate degree in psychology. And so that, what I think I want my dad to know and my parents to know is that, look, if you die, I got it. And I have a professional degree to lean on so that I can make a good living and, spread Buddhism and fix people and da 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 da. Okay. I think that every son and daughter who has parents want them to know. We don't want them to die and they're like, well, I wish that he knew. Well, my dad is still alive. And he actually only required me to have a bachelor's degree. That's it. He's not some of those toxic parents out there that says, I had to be a lawyer, I had to be a doctor. Mind you, I wanted to be a cop when I was younger. Okay. Because of my own domestic violence and the whole family system and unit, my world was unsafe. So I wanted to be a cop because so I can, feel like I'm safe and bring safety to other people. Came from a Catholic family, still is a Catholic family. I'm the only Buddhist monk. So I'm telling you, whoever don't want to make a video on me, like a movie on me, they're missing out. They're missing out. I'm telling you. Anyway, I'm telling you, whoever don't want to make a video on me, like a movie on me, they're missing out. They're missing out. I'm telling you. Anyways, well, whoever wants to make a movie on me, feel free to reach out. Also, I don't object a camera following me and seeing this hectic life, but however, beautiful life also too in serving the people. So I will let you all know. Thank you for understanding and never tired of giving. Never tired of giving. Never tired of volunteering. Never tired of giving back to society. I wanted to end the conversation with this. I was thinking in my head, okay, was that before becoming a monk, I was a volunteer at the Southwest Buddhist Temple for a very long time, like more than 10 years. I accumulated so much hours, I believe like 3,000 or 4,000 hours, that I qualified for the Presidential Volunteer Service Award. And I believe that's one of the very highest award in volunteer work. However, there were issues within the monastery and they couldn't, I guess they don't want the attention of the White House. I don't care. I know I did 4,000 hours or however many thousand hours. It was 10 years of service. I still have those certificates of volunteer service and the Moral Courage Award. And I was thinking to myself, my whole life has been giving. I am appearing live right now in front of the entire world telling people. So if I was this guy that lied, other people would know. You can't hide this face. I some monk recognized me in Laos I'm like, he's like, I follow you. How do you know it's me? How do you know I'm G out? I guess I have a distinct face. Um, I've opened my life for examination. I've opened my life so that you all can learn from, study from, and even if I drop dead tomorrow, you all have a wealth of information on all of my social media to learn from who this man was, who was G. Before taking this talk, I thought to myself, had they given more and taken less, they wouldn't see me. See the problem? Any human that give more and take less out in society would rarely have the problems that I am seeing. Particularly the practice of the self, the ego. Okay, just because I'm telling you, just the many benefits of volunteering and giving out in society. But that's going to take me another hour to expand on. However, if you pay attention to all the priests and all the holy orders who have been over and over again talking about giving and giving and giving, why do they keep on talking about giving and giving and giving? Because it cures the human condition, it cures depression and anxiety. It brings, in fact, true happiness, freedom, and liberation. So I hope that I'm speaking to the right people, and that your heart and ears open and you take this seriously, pursuant for your health, pursuant for your well-being. If you change, everyone else around you will change. You will be the light. You will be the glowing Christmas morning that they're all waiting to see. I know that. We inspire other people by and through our own change. So Thank you. If you have any question, you can reach out. If you have a problem with this policy, please let me know. I am not perfect. I am trying my best to come up with innovative ways to condition the human to be the ideal image of what the Buddha wants and to be the ideal image of what God wants you to be. So I do cater to Christians. I cater to everybody: black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, you name it. Okay. And hopefully one day we can go back to what it used to be. But for now, it needs to be this way so that we can serve more people. And I hope to ordain more. I just hope a lot of things happen the way that I hope for it to happen. And yes, Ajahn Dao does have expectations for the world and society. And yes, sometimes that does cost me peace, but I gotta keep the standard high so that we're always evolving. So never forget that we should always continue to evolve. Okay. So more as it comes along, please continue to follow. Please continue to keep up with these talks so that you all become better, brighter, wiser, kinder human beings around the world. We need more of that. Hopefully, this talk can inspire all of you to become future leaders of tomorrow so that you can inspire your generation, your people. However, all of us wound up where we are, however messed up we are, we are, whatever, including myself. Every word that I'm telling you applies directly to me, with me, okay, for me, and for all of us. We can still change and be that icon of change for other people. You know, it can be done. It will be done. So, more talks. I think my next talk is going to be Venerable Tit. Oh, what was his name? Thich Minh Tuệ, who is leading a movement in Vietnam right now. Minhtue. Venerable Minhtue. So I gotta prepare for that very long talk. But for now, hopefully you all understand where I'm coming from. And thank you. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of good positive results here. So I have selected the right, true, just words on the right speech of the Noble Eightfold Path uh, to develop this policy. So once again, thank you for reaching out to me, taking the courage to reaching out to me. Again, this video, it will be used under the link tree for those who are new to Buddhist counseling. And invest in yourself, and it'll be the best investment that you can make in your lifetime. Let's get this spirituality thing done. And spirituality means to know yourself. So you didn't know yourself before. Now you're going to get to know yourself real well. Know yourself, love yourself, accept who you are, and get on with your life. My program is not meant forever. My program is meant to fix you the right way, the comprehensive way, the effective way, so that you can go on with your life wherever you want to go, whoever you want to go with. Okay. I think that's all for now. And I appreciate once again your compassion, understanding, and forgiveness. If I made any mistakes during this talk, please forgive me. If I sound a little too assertive and not consistent with any other Theravada Buddhist monk, please forgive me. On becoming a Ajahn is another talk, but it just has to be the way that it is. It's in an effort to tame people's ego tendencies and frequencies of how they elude themselves and elude me, the whole shebang, the whole 9 yards. Okay, it is getting late at night. May you all be well, be happy, be free, and always be healthy. Please reflect over and over. Please meditate often. All of the resources on meditation and Buddhism is free on my YouTube. Again, Theravadans, we teach for free. Cannot ask you for anything but a cup of water. We follow 227 rules. Okay, until the very next time, thank you so much. Take care.